Prosseco and Podcast. भर्खरै एउटा ग्रान्ड फ्यासन सो सक्यो अस्ट्रेलियामा ग्ल्याम नेपाल सिजन 4 इट वाज अमेजिङ दाइ हुन्छ नि द रनवे गेस्टहरू मोरल्सहरू डिजाइन्सहरू सबै म्यानेजमेन्ट टप नच थियो के दाइ
So the gush, the rush, the stress, the anxiety, to high, to low, even prepare गर्न at least मलाई 3 to 6 months लाग्छ हैन तर the main thing that comes is last 15 days. Everything starts to fall into pieces. Glam Nepal is a Nepali brand. If it doesn't get the support of the Nepali community here, it's not going to grow the way we want it to grow. Australians say, amazing, how do you do this? We did not know that Nepal has such designs and such creativity.
So Glam Nepal is over Deepak Gyawali, right? We know you as a
That's
glam
a lot
guy.
of price. We usually see rejection as a negative thing, but for me, it was the most positive thing that happened in my life. It's very important in life to figure out your why. When you figure out your why, how will come to you.
How did the idea started?
So the reason I have to take a sip on this is the thing that I will tell you is probably going to shock you. It's going to shock you how Glam Nepal started.
This podcast is presented by Maven Consulting Group. Reach out to them if you have any education and visa inquiry. Knowledge partner, Rees International College. They offer many courses such as aged care, commercial cookery, disability, early childhood, and many more. Supported by Capcom Home Loans, Australia's leading home loan specialist. Magic Momo Cafe, a perfect destination in Melbourne for an authentic Nepalese and Newari cuisines. Yatra The Connection, Australiama Nepaliहरूको लागि सबैभन्दा भरपर्दो travel company. Manny Films, your photography and videography partner to capture your perfect moment. 25 hours, the marketing boost you need for your business. Hello, namaste सबैजनालाई. Welcome to another episode of Maven Podcast. So आज चाहिँ the room is so much glamorous because I'm sitting down with amazing glamorous guest. So भर्खरै पनि if we are connected in Instagram मैले भर्खरै एउटा ramp walk गरेर आएको थिएँ सिडनीमा चाहिँ. So that is from the Glam Nepal. So one of the biggest fashion show the Nepalese has ever done across Nepal. So त्यसैले गर्दा फेरि चाहिँ without any further delay, I just wanted to invite the founder and the CEO, the glamorous man, the Mr. Glam Nepal to our show. Deepak Dai, namaste. Welcome to Maven Podcast.
Thank you. Namaste Sabita. And appreciate you having me. In these 2 years of journey, Maven Podcast has done amazing and I'm really feeling privileged to be here sitting next to you and talking and listening to you. Congratulations on the journey and thank you so much for being a part of Glam Nepal.
No problem. Thank you so much.
You did amazing.
You look great, Dai. You look very cool as always.
I tried to. I have to keep up.
Anyways, Dai, just from our team, as I say, we're going to have a special podcast, which is Prosseco and Podcast. Dai.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
And this is for you to open.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhai.
Sorry, Dai.
So I don't want to make this a habit, but it's only for today, right?
100%, Dai. 100%. This is the first time we're doing it, right, Manny bro?
Looking forward to this podcast today. And I hope the Prosecco gets the wise words out of us.
100%, Dai.
So do I just go like pop
No.
I can do that. Oh,
all right.
That's a pop. Yeah, and cheers to you, Vicky.
No, cheers
for your
to
first
you,
ever runway as well. You did me so proud. You did Glam Nepal very proud. Amazing walk. The confidence. You've never done this before, and then you came there and you took the stage.
No problem.
And
Thanks so much.
You were on fire. Everyone gave the compliments. Huba was very proud of you. The way you opened, the way you introduced yourself, and then you showed your power walk. Was very humble and subtle as well, but at the same time, it was very powerful. So kudos to you once again.
Thank you so much, Dai. I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and thank you so much. I love the show, the whole thing. I'm pretty sure. We could not really imagine how big the stress was. Tapeko soldiers ma, but on the same side, you did amazing, Dai. So cheers to Glam Nepal.
Thank you so much.
All right, to Prosseco and Podcast. Wow, amazing name, eh? All right. Anyways, without further delay, Deepak Dai, a few things we want to talk about. I know. First of all, the Glam Nepal season 4, as being a part of the team as well. मैले देखे पनि हैन. It was amazing, Dai. हुन्छ नि the runway, गेस्टहरू, मोरल्सहरू, डिजाइन्सहरू हैन, डिजाइनरहरू पनि उत्तिकै प्लस द एमसी सबै म्यानेजमेन्ट टप नच थियो के दाइ.
Thank you.
म अहिलेसम्म नेपालको फ्यासन सोमा नि गएको छैन होइन इभन आई लभ फ्यासन तर म त्यो मौका चाहिँ पाएको थिएन प्लस अन द सेम साइड फ्यासन सो पनि हेऱ्यो आफू पनि ऱ्याम्प वक पनि गरियो एकदम रमाइलो लाग्यो
हजुर हजुर
तर एकदमै नै दाइ हुन्छ नि त्यो लेभलको म्यानेजमेन्टको लागि चाहिँ आई रियली वान गिभ यु अ शाउट आउट फ्रम मेभन पडकास्ट टिम है सो
and I want to take that credit to my team. I know you've given me the shout out, but I want to give that shout out to the team. I would not be here. Could not do this journey without the team. I mean, they do all the hard work in the background. Obviously, when I started season 1, I was the person to start with. That's why I get the credit. But again, we have grown to season 4 because the team behind me does all the work and they lift GlamNepal to the ceilings.
Amazing दाइ मेरो तर्फबाट पनि congratulations to the whole team of Glam Nepal, especially for the people who are in part in season 4 as well. You guys did an amazing job. All right, now moving forward, दाइ
हजुर
I'll come to season 1, season 2, season 3 एकछिनमा
हजुर
है Let's focus on season 4. All right,
Okay.
भर्खरै एउटा ग्रान्ड फ्यासन सो नेपालिज फ्यासन सो सक्यो अस्ट्रेलियामा
हजुर।
होइन इट वाज अमेजिङली होस्टेड सो नाउ दाइ how are you feeling?
I'm on a withdrawal at the moment. Withdrawal of all the rush. जुन त्यो गसिङ रस हुन्छ नि जुन त्यो इभेन्टको 1 महिना अगाडिदेखि सुरु हुन्छ इभेन्ट प्रिपेयर गर्न एटलिस्ट मलाई 3 to 6 months लाग्छ होइन तर द मेन थिङ द्याट कम्स इज लास्ट 15 days. Everything starts to fall into pieces, places, or everything starts to fall off from the places, right?
Yeah.
So the gush, the rush, the stress, the anxiety, the high, the low, that all went away past 3 days of Glam Nepal event. Then I started to wonder what's next. What do I do? Because I just sitting in the couch and I feel irrelevant now. What I want to do more, what I want to do next. अनि त्यो विड्रोल पनि छ र त्यो प्लानिङ पनि छ लाइक ओके वाट्स नेक्स्ट होइन सो त्यो फेजमा छु ब्रो अहिले
I think that's why you came to Melbourne.
I'm
Sorry, I don't want to spill the tea here.
No. I'm looking for something in Melbourne. And Melbourne's the fashion capital of Australia. And I'm very proud that Melbourne's model, and like you came from Melbourne,
Yeah.
there a lot of other models came from Melbourne, all the way leaving their work, traveling, cost of flights and accommodation and everything. It was a big investment. So I owe a lot to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And for me, I want to find something in Melbourne. And coming yesterday to Melbourne, I found a lot already. And I'm really excited. I could not process a lot of things. And I was in my bed yesterday trying to process those things. Like how far we've come.
Yeah.
How far I have come. To dream that, okay, something bigger and better in Melbourne too. So, yeah.
Amazing. All right. So Melbourne ko kura aउँदा आउँदै I want to stop over for Melbourne. Dai, is there anything exciting happening officially? Well, I don't know if that's the statement you can make or not, but we'll be privileged if you can announce through our podcast.
Awesome.
Is something happening in Melbourne?
Yes. Vicky, you're very kind. You already know it, but you're still asking the question for the sake of the podcast for your viewers, right? Melbourne's going to be a maze, right?
Yeah.
A maze.
I saw the notes.
Yeah. So we did some venue hunting yesterday where we want to go. Again, Glam Nepal is an international runway of Nepal.
Yeah.
The only international runway of Nepal. And we focus on aesthetic very much. If you are wanting to serve something, you have to serve in the best way so that you can make a noise, make a white noise. And we want to make a white noise about Made in Nepal. # Made in Nepal. And Made in Nepal, Melbourne, right? So maze, right? And there are a lot of things coming into places. And I do not want to go forward of time and say everything, but there's something very amazing coming in Melbourne. We're working at the moment. I probably would be able to announce officially in a week, but unofficially I would say there's Glam Nepal happening in Melbourne.
Yay! All right. Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations to the whole Glam Nepal team.
Thank
right?
you so much.
Anyways, ल ठिकै छ म मेलबर्नमा अब धेरै अर्किदिनँ मुभिङ फरवर्ड दाइ प्रिपरेसन है आइम प्रिटी स्योर पिपल सी द फाइनल प्रडक्ट
हजुर
होइन जस्तै जब सो पनि फोटोग्राफर्सहरू आउँछ मोडल्सहरू आउँछ अझै हामी त मेलबर्नबाट आएको मोडल्सहरूले त खासै देख्दैनौँ लास्टको 2 दिन मात्र बिहाइन्ड द सिन्सहरू देख्ने हो झन् भ्युवर्स अडियन्सहरूले त तपाईँको फाइनल तपाईँको प्रडक्ट 2 घन्टा जुन चाहिँ तपाईँहरूले 6 महिना अगाडिदेखिको प्रिपरेसन या 3 महिना अगाडिदेखिको प्रिपरेसन देख्नुहुन्छ होइन लेट्स ब्रेक इट डाउन द प्रिपरेसन मोडमा चाहिँ दाइ तपाईँको सिजन 4 को प्रिपरेसन गर्न चाहिँ दाइ लाइक हुन्छ नि यु सेड 3 महिनादेखि 6 महिना लाग्छ है वेल मेलबर्नमा कम टाइम छ होला डिफ्रेन्ट स्टोरी तर हाम्रो सिडनीकै सोको कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ दाइ तपाईँहरूको प्रिपरेसन चाहिँ कसरी स्टार्ट हुन्छ दाइ इफ यु क्यान जस्ट walk me through that.
So preparation actually goes back last year, not even 3 to 6 months, it goes a year back. Because every time we do a show in Sydney or in Australia, we try to reflect back on Nepal. So हामीले नेपालमा डिसेम्बरमा एउटा सो गरेका थियौँ याके नीतिमा it was season 4 नेपालमै अनि त्यो season 4 नै क्यारी ओभर भएर अस्ट्रेलिया आउँछ हैन सो यो प्रिपरेसन हामीले प्रोबब्ली लास्ट इयरको मार्चमा जुन ग्ल्याम नेपाल सकाएको थियौँ हामीले अस्ट्रेलियामा क्यालेक्समा गरेका थियौँ त्यसपछि वी स्टार्टेड प्रिपरेसन इन मार्च 2024 है मार्च 2024 मा हामीले कन्क्लुड गरेको 15 दिनपछि वी स्टार्टेड टु प्रिपेयर फर ग्ल्याम नेपाल सो इन नेपाल त्यसको लागि म पनि सेप्टेम्बरमा गएर 2 महिना बसेर प्रिपेयर गरेर आएको थिएँ सो हाउ इट रियली वर्क्स इज फर्स्ट अफ अल यु हेभ टु गो एन्ड सी designers like who are really wanting to be internationally there, right? Who are wanting to get their brand out, the made in Nepal, the designers that do all these things in Nepal that has to like be showcased in Nepal पहिला अनि त्यसपछि त्यहाँबाट हामीले चाहिँ अस्ट्रेलियाको जर्नी प्रिपेयर गर्छौँ किनकि हामीले पहिला सुरुमा त एउटा कुरा के हेर्नु पर्यो भने are the designers sustainable in the business? If they're not sustainable in the business, if they're just starting out and they don't know where they're heading, and if they don't have the finance, we'll let them prepare themselves first, which is Nepalko show. You know, Nepalko show we see okay, these designers are really prepared now, and they are wanting to get to international. Nationally, they've done well. Now they're wanting to go international, find the customer or consumer, whether that's Nepali consumer or Australian or other nationalities or Indian customers, right? Then we pick those designers to bring over to Australia. And then we start the visa processing. We get the visa processing on the line and we start working on the sketch of the designs. What are the designs they're going to showcase? Mood board and stuff like that. So there's a lot of preparation behind the scenes with the designers. Then the preparation comes for models. Now, we could easily go and hire agency models and we could place them on the runway. We do not have to work too hard. But the reason we go in the community and ask for participation is because, again, GlamNepal is a Nepali brand. If it doesn't get the support of the Nepali community here, then it's not going to grow the way we want it to grow. Yep. Right? हामीलाई जुन नेपालको माया छ मेड इन नेपालको माया छ त्यो हामीले कसरी गर्न सक्छ भन्दाखेरि त नेपाली मोडल्सहरू प्लस अस्ट्रेलियन मोडल्सहरू प्लस अरू कन्टिनेन्टको मोडल्सहरू सो वी स्टार्टेड अडिसन एन्ड द अडिसन वी गट लाइक 50 models from Sydney, 10 models from Melbourne, 3 models from Brisbane. So we found that the love is there for this sort of show.
Yeah.
And the models are really someone who really dreamt to be on the runway, but because of the responsibility or study or ambition, they could not really get to that goal. You want to be on the runway, but you know what? You do not have that walk. You have the aesthetic, but you do not have the know how to walk the runway. You know? So we did the audition, then we started the master class, which is runway master class. So we do not want to just get the looks, but we also want to get the walk, right? Then we started training. So the training started for 6 weeks, and kudos to all the models. You worked really hard, giving 2 days of your week on Saturday and Sunday, which you could have spent with your family or which you could have spent at your work and earn extra money. You truly invested that time with the training, which is for themselves.
Exactly.
And that happened, then makeup, then logistics, then your production. So a lot of things. Look, it's an ingredient, a lot of ingredients come together to make GlamNepal the GlamNepal it is.
Exactly. Amazing, Dai. Thank you so much for explaining in such a details. हैन त्यसले गर्दाखेरि कति कुराहरू हामीले बुझ्यौँ नि त कति यो त देख्दैन नि त हामीले एभ्रीबडी वाज जस्ट गोना बी देयर दीपक लास्ट मिनट पास चाहियो मलाई आयो 1.5 घण्टा सिटमा पनि बस्दैन कोही कोही अझै नो आई हैव सीन दैट अलराइट
I think that's a learning that we have to go. I think हामी एक्साइटेड हुन्छौँ मान्छेहरू भेट्नलाई इभेन्टमा गएपछि र हामीले मेन कोर बिर्सिन्छौँ हामी किन छौँ त्यहाँ भनेर के जस्तो मैले विकीलाई भेटेँ आई हैव सीन यु आफ्टर विकी के साल खबर भने वी pick a corner to go and have a conversation rather than sitting down and appreciate the walk and the designer's work that takes tremendous time.
Yep.
I know, so probably we're in a learning stage.
Yeah.
We'll get there one day.
Did that hurt you, though? Because I saw like हुन्छ नि कुनै कुनै लेट्स बी अनेस्ट हियर होइन
हजुर।
कुनै कुनै हाम्रो डिजाइनर्सहरूको वर्कमा चाहिँ आई स फ्रन्टको चेयर्सहरू अलिकति एम्टी
हजुर,
होइन
हजुर, हजुर।
सो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि
It does
was it
hurt.
painful to you?
It does hurt me. It does put me in a position where I can't say anything, though I want to say something. Because again, how I see is these customers have come for, or these people have come for experience, and that experience is very personal to them. Whether that's fashion show or whether that's talking to a long time lost friend, it's very personal to them. Now, if I go and say, "Hey, sit down on your chair," I'm not there to school anyone. I'm not there to discipline anyone, right? I'm there to create a show. It's like, you create a movie and then like the audience on the theater want to talk to each other, not watch the movie or fast forward the movie. It's in the audience hand,
Yeah.
right? Probably learning for me is maybe going to more fashion loving people
Yeah.
who would love to sit down and watch the whole show, maybe cater to them more.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a business as well. GlamNepal is not a charity. It's a business. It has to be sustainable.
100%.
I have to sell tickets. And when I'm selling tickets via public platform, I do not have control of who is buying the ticket and whose intention is what, right? So the learning from me from now is maybe talking to my models more and saying, hey, you want to bring your friends and family who are lover of fashion, and they will be seated on the chair and watch you and cheer you. Or maybe I don't
Yeah,
do that.
respecting the whole show.
Absolutely, absolutely. But look, again, I'm grateful. Everyone came, everyone cheered. 315 people came to the show. It was one of the pristine venue,
100%.
Darling Harbour. Yeah, the plan was changed. Now we can talk about
Yeah.
that a bit more
Yes,
later.
Yeah.
But the plan got changed, and like preparation of 3 or 6 months, we had a different venue in mind, and it got to a different venue because of Mother Nature. We can't control the weather,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of things went really off the plan, but I'm really grateful to my team that they carried out the whole show. The show didn't get postponed because there were 5 designers all over from Australia, 5 designers all over from Nepal. They have their own schedule. If I postpone the show to another day just to favor the weather, just to favor my vision only, it's unfair on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
No, we respect the fact that even though the weather was not really great, you had a backup venue in the plan, and you moved the venue on the very last minute, and you still made that happen. Thank you so much, because तपाईँले भन्नुभएको जस्तै we traveled all the way from Melbourne, and कतिजना डिजाइनर्सहरू त नेपालबाट आउनुभएको थियो होइन. So you made that happen. Kudos to you and your team.
Awesome,
Seriously.
thank you.
Right.
No, look, again, I chose to be a villain
Yeah, of course.
to be a hero. You know why? Because I chose to be a villain because I went away from the initial plan, because the initial plan was to do a runway under the sky, open sky. But the weather was really not in favor, or the weather was not giving me a confidence. Like, it was raining till 3 o'clock, but it did not rain after 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
right? But there were chances of rain.
Yeah.
Now, do I take the chance and get the LED screen, the audio, video, everything is exposed to the rain, and then something happens and the program just doesn't go through? Or do I pick a venue that has all the insurance from the weather, has that assurity that, okay, the show is going to go through, the design is going to showcase, the model's going to walk. So I said, okay, let me be the villain. I know I'm going to not make few people happy, but I'm going to make the models, the designers, and the vision happen still in Darling Harbour. The show still go through. Them just basically trying to be a hero and cancelling the show, or trying to satisfy few people, make them happy, and then make the larger community unhappy.
Yeah.
So villain is okay. I can live with that.
No, anyways, thank you so much for being so selfless, and making that show happen. तपाईँको visionबाट बाहिर गएर पनि, which we really appreciated. That's the leader we see in you. That's the reason हुन्छ नि, after the show I waited for 5 minutes to take a picture with you and your wife. So people loves you for that. Anyways, let's come to the challenges part. Season 4 को कुरा गर्छौँ. Again, limiting our conversation अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ to season 4. your biggest challenge apart from the venue, right? Your
हजुर,
last
हजुर,
minute को त्यो त सबैलाई थाहा थियो होइन, how stressful moment that was for you especially. त्यो बाहेक चाहिँ सबैभन्दा बेसी च्यालेन्जिङ चाहिँ तपाईँले के पाउनुभयो दाइ प्रिपरेसनको बेलामा या इभन ड्युरिङ द इभेन्ट एज वेल?
I think the major challenge was 5 designers being overseas with a different culture, and 5 designers being in Australia with a different culture. How do I bring them together? Whether that's logistically, or whether that's in a way of working together, whether that's discipline, or whether that's structure, right? Nepal has a different culture of working, right? And I have to respect that because people work in a different way there. And Australia, they have different. So that was a bit of a challenge, but I saw a silver lining there. Okay, well, 2 cultures coming together, it's indifferent and they have different practice, different way, but they're actually coming together. And lastly, I found that everyone's working in harmony with each other. Everyone appreciating each other. Like the Nepalese designer was so appreciative of the Australian designer. Australian designer said, amazing, how do you do this? We did not know that Nepal has such designs and like, such creativity. And like I got so many messages after the show from the Australian designers saying, look, we absolutely loved working with your Nepalese designers. Very humble people, very easy to work with. The models were great. And I got the same feedback from Nepali designers saying it was such an amazing experience for us to work with someone international. So that was one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing was this time it took a bit of more time for the immigration to award the visa. Look, they have their own policies, right? So I totally understand. They took their time to do the due diligence to give us the visas. But it took us 45 days to get the decision from them.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Now that really created a bit of a suspense on designers in Nepal that okay, मेरो भिजा लाग्छ त मैले यत्रो इन्भेस्टमेन्ट गर्न लागेको छु 5-6 लाख 10 लाखको डिजाइन्स बनाउन लागेको छु so will I get my visa and will I be able to showcase? So to give that assurance every day that everything's going to happen, it's okay, visas will land, don't worry, keep preparing. So that was the everyday thing that I had to do. Every day I had to receive a call on WhatsApp saying, "Dai visa ayo." Answer छैन. कपडा भयो कि भएन.
I get that. I get that.
So that was one thing, and also like making sure the fittings and everything is done with the models. Make sure that all the 55 models had the right fittings. And the biggest challenge I would say, but it's an amazing challenge. I would love to do this every time, though it's very challenging. Is kids runway. For the first time ever in Glam Nepal history, or many runways here in Australia haven't showcased kids runway. Now, to see tears in parents' eyes on that day when their kids were walking on the runway, that was my medal. That was my trophy. And I got so many messages from the mom and dad saying, look, thank you so much that you actually had this. I will treasure this for the rest of the life. This is a life memory that you created for my kid, my son, my daughter. And look, that really gives me goosebumps now when I'm saying this as well, because getting those sort of messages on Instagram, no matter like I had to go away from the vision, I wanted to do this and that, but the show happened, people were happy, the mom and dad were crying, I could see some tears in their eyes, like happiness.
Yeah.
And the regret that I had to manage all the mayhem or the chaos of organizing 6 months worth of preparation in 3 hours, changing it to another venue, and like in doing, I miss my son's runway. So Xavier walk Garda, I could not be there to watch him. And that was my biggest regret. I wish I could go back and give me that 30 seconds that I chose to invest elsewhere in operation, to just leave the operation where it is and just be selfish and watch my son be on the runway. So that is a regret that I have kept in my heart. But again, I'm thankful to all the content creators that they've actually captured and Xavier's smile and the smile of all the kids. My nephew's smile as well, Arav, I know. These kids were never disciplined on the training days. They would always run around, create a mess, a chaos. And I would be like, what have I picked? What have I done? And on the runway day, they actually walked the full runway with all the grace, like they're pro. They've done this many times. It was amazing. Amazing.
Amazing. Like, seriously, hats off to you and your team, of course, like for bringing kids runway. And I can see like all the parents were coming around like 4 o'clock. 4 बजे नै 5 बजे नै आएर पुरा बच्चाहरूलाई प्रिपरेसन गरिरहेको हुन्छ नि, just to see them for 10 seconds in the runway. It was such an emotional moment, even for me as well, हैन, किनकि त्यो देखिरहेको थिएँ क्या मैले. But having said that, now coming to your son's part, so sorry to hear that, first of all. And second thing, I think that's the price of success you have to pay, which is sacrifice, right? So त्यसैले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ if you were so much selfish, probably त्यो show अझै राम्रो हुँदैन थियो होला, तर you devoted yourself showलाई rather than just your personal भनौँ न एउटा goal or desire. So त्यसको लागि चाहिँ दाइ thank
But
you.
still, I wanted to be selfish. I wish I could be selfish. I wish I could go
But
back
you're
in
not.
time.
That's why you're a leader, दाइ. That's why Glam Nepal is over Deepak Gyawali, दाइ. We know you as a
That's
Glam
a lot
दाइ.
of price to pay.
Anyways, Dai. Now, thank you so much, Dai, for everything you did for Glam Nepal Season 4. Again, मैले भनि नै हालेँ होइन, सबै मम ड्याडहरू आफ्नो छोराछोरीको लागि हेर्न आउँछ. त्यसपछि उहाँहरू खासै सोको वास्ता नगर्नु होला, गर्नुहुन्छ, गर्नु हुँदैन, डिफ्रेन्ट स्टोरी. तर तपाईँ आफ्नै छोराको मिस गरेर you were so much into preparation. So that actually tells a lot about you.
Thank you, bhai.
And thank you for that. Thank you for being an inspiration.
That tells I'm an irresponsible father.
Well, you can explain this to your wife.
Nah, she was there. Fortunately, she was there cheering for him.
Yeah.
And the cheeky smile on his face was seeing his mom.
Yeah.
He's a mom's boy.
Oh, okay.
But he loves daddy, but daddy has his own role, but he's a mom's boy.
Okay, I get that. Thank you, Dai. I'll come to your family part later on. Now, anyways, Dai, let's go to Glam Nepal. Season 4 लाई म एकैछिन साइडमा राखेर म Glam Nepal कैमै जाम न. Dai, how did the idea started? Right? The biggest question for all my viewers, all our audience must be Glam Nepal Season 1 कुन year देखि सुरु भयो र how did that idea came to your mind?
Yeah. I think I need to take a sip before
Yeah,
I answer
100%.
that.
I'll top up first.
No, I'm fine. I'm here.
Fine.
So the reason I have to take a sip on this is the thing that I will tell you is probably going to shock you. It's going to shock you how Glam Nepal started. So, yeah, I can do a top up.
Yeah.
It's okay.
For Glam Nepal.
But I won't skull it, okay?
No, of course not. You should not. I want you to for the whole show.
So I want everyone to pay attention on this, right?
Yep.
Glam Nepal started from a rejection.
Rejection of what there?
So it was a rejection where this idea came all in play. And it's a beautiful rejection of my life. We usually see rejection as a negative thing. But for me, it was the most positive thing that happened in my life. That rejection that I got. So I went to Australian Fashion Week in 2018. Right? It was June, July. And fortunately, because being in a banking career, I got a corporate box where I get to enjoy the most beautiful view of the runway. And that's where an idea came. Wow, this is amazing. I do a lot of corporate events, club events, young, beautiful. But that sort of idea of doing a fashion show, because I saw all the designers from all over the world there showcasing their designs, but I could not see any of the Nepali designers, right? And then I thought, maybe this is somewhere I can focus. Maybe this is a niche that I can really work on. And I kind of thought, okay, well, Nepal ma ke bhairasa? What's a fashion thing like in Nepal? Now, we've heard a lot of fashion show companies in Nepal doing really well. At that time, when I was in 2018, I did research, found few companies that are doing extremely well in Nepal with fashion and all, fashion week and all. Then I said, okay, maybe I'll bring them to Australia. And then I contacted a few of them. Out of few of them, one of them engaged in a conversation. When I got engaged in a conversation, there came a monetary value. The monetary value I was not prepared to invest, in the sense like, okay, I'm bringing your brand to Australia to showcase your brand. But if there's a monetary aspect that you are asking me just to showcase your brand, then it's unfair. And I do not have that money. It's unfair because I do not have that money. Right? So that was a rejection because I could not give that money to the brand to come to Australia. I kind of got disheartened. I was trying to do this right thing. I was trying to bring Nepali designers and bring the Nepali runway company to Australia to showcase the runway.
Yep.
Glam Nepal was nowhere there, right? Now that rejection gave me a bit of a space, empty space, where I was brave to say, hey, hang on, I can do this on my own. All I have to do is connect with the designers, connect with the models, connect with the celebrities, and ask what they really need. Then I said, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, then what am I going to call this? Fashion show? That's a very, very cliche name.
Yeah.
What do I call this? Then instantly, grace of God Glam Nepal came into my brain.
Such a beautiful name.
This was a seeding of God, and this was a seeding of the passion, because it's very important in life to figure out your why. When you figure out your why, how will come to you. The how will come to you and appear in front of you, because your why has to be very strong. And because my why was very strong, because I want to showcase Nepal fashion, because I believed in Nepal fashion, I've watched it very closely. I like to dress up myself. I like to follow the trend and stuff. Or I like to create the trend, right? And then I said, Glam Nepal. Okay, Glam Nepal, nice word. Then I needed logo, and thank you to Niti Bai, who created the logo for me.
Beautiful logo.
Beautiful logo. Niti Bai, if you listen to this podcast, man, I'm in debt for life for that logo that you created for me.
Very classy.
Right? And that logo came into play. Then I said, okay, logo le matra ta bhayena, Glam Nepal bhayo ni त्यसलाई त glam ta banaunu paryo. How do I do this? I have to go and connect with the audience. Then I called UB Thapa. I added him on Facebook. I did not get he did not accept my request, because obviously he gets a lot of requests, right? And then I did a DM. Unfortunately, after a week of DM, he said hi. Just hi. And then when I got that hi, I pressed on that call and I called him. I said, you don't know me, but I just need a minute of your time.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do, and this is only coming from my heart. मलाई मनबाट यो गर्न मन छ, किनकि मनबाट म बिलिभ गर्छु कि I can create a difference. You know, because I've been watching Prabal Gurung Daigo growth as well.
Yeah.
I know. He started somewhere from the very scratch. He started in Nepal, studied, and then went to India, did an internship. Then he went to some other countries, and then finally he went to UK. Sorry, US. UK ma wale styling ko kaamharu garनुभयो. And then I saw the whole growth, but started from the scratch. Like he studied in Xavier's as well. Nepal mein पढ्नु भयो हो, हैन? नेपालकै मान्छे अहिले हेर्नुस् न, like he's the icon. I know.
Even Michelle Obama was wearing
absolutely
her,
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and to sort of inspiration to you. And I spoke to you. You was really, really humble and amazing. Yubi Thapa, if you're listening to this, thank you so much. You have a big credit on Glam Nepal to how it started, and then he gave me the how. Like I had the why, he gave me the how. He said, "Come Nepal, connect with the designers." He gave me a few names. I went to Nepal, connected with a few designers, connected with a few Miss Nepal. Connected with few like other contacts from Suraj, Singh, Thakuri Dai as well. Went to Kantipur channel and spoke to हाम्रो CEO and Bhusan Dal Dai. And all the ideas started coming. Like I said, you know, if you have a strong why, how will appear? And how are these people, like in these coming people that I started meeting, that they gave me how you can do it. Any validation मैले पाएँ त्यहाँबाट. And I'm strong now. Okay, so I announced Glam Nepal season 1 भनेर हातमा पैसा छैन. In the sense, sponsorship केही पनि छैन. Bank account मा हल्का छ. As a भर्खरै PR पाएर, as a banker, I had some life savings. हैन, तर again that was a gamble. अनि त्यसपछि म finalize गरेर, त्यो line of finalize गरेर I came to Australia. Then I went to see some venues. Community venues, nothing wrong with that, but the मेरो vision चाहिँ अलिक grand गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने थियो. And then I went to Sofitel. I was like, wow. I paused there.
Yeah.
But before I said anything, I asked how much. And the person, I still remember, he's a gentleman from France. He loves fashion. His name is Mark. I forgot his last name. Very, very tough last name. And Mark was like, okay, why are you doing this? And who is coming? And I said, this is from Nepal. This is from this, that. And he had few Nepalese people working in Sofitel in the hospitality as well. And he said, look, I really love Nepalese people, the way they are down to earth, the way they are sincere to their work. That really, like, you know, was a reputation that Nepalese people created in Sofitel, right? And kudos to those bhai bani who are doing really well in the hospitality and creating that image of Nepali people. And he said, look, what we can do is we can give you the venue for hire, and then you can add food on top of it, and minimum spend, blah, 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 $35,000. $35,000 is like probably was my half year salary. And then I said, okay, well, give me a week time. And then I started going around pitching the sponsorship proposal to a lot of people that would have sponsored an event. And a few of them said, bhai, hudaina, fashion show paila pani katile garisakeko cha, it's not going to go. It's a nice idea. It's a good thing for that you're thinking for Nepal.
So I'll just pause you there. Like, you सिडनीमा पहिला फेसन शो भएको थियो तपाईँको यो भिजन
भएको थियो पहिला भएको थियो
Okay.
तर अर्कै अर्गनाइजरहरूले गर्नु भएको थियो होइन तर
exactly.
म अनफर्चुनेटली मेरो टाइम नभएर म गएको थिएन
जानु भएको थियो
तर उहाँ जोसँग गएर मैले पिच गरिरहेको थियो आइडिया वाज अ टाइटल स्पोन्सर फर द्याट रनवे
प्लिज कन्टिन्यू दाइ
अनि उहाँले चाहिँ मलाई भन्नुभयो भाइ कन्सल्ट गर आई सपोर्ट यु होइन डु लाइक यु नो ब्रिङ आर्टिस्ट फ्रम नेपाल मैले फेरि कन्सर्ट चाहिँ ठिकै छ सबैले गरिराख्नु भएको छ त कन्सर्ट मैले किन गर्नु पऱ्यो मैले चाहिँ यही गर्छु दाइ ठिकै छ हजुरको स्पोन्सरसिप लाइक त्यो भ्याल्यु फर मनी त्यहाँबाट आउँदैन भने एटलिस्ट प्रोग्राममा आएर सपोर्ट चाहिँ गरिदिनु होला है त भनेर म त्यहाँबाट लागेँ अनि अगेन मेलबर्नको माया कर्नेल कन्सल्टेन्सी
Okay.
So Melbourne Maya Cornell Consultancy came on board because they really wanted to get to that millennials or Gen Zs, and they wanted to get that glamour to that brand as well, branding as well. So they came on board, and then other people started coming on board. So I covered the cost, and then I brought Manish Rai, UB from Nepal, ani Muktaji from Nepal, ani hamro Niti Shah, ani Anna Sharma,
wow.
अनि Sabita Karki, Suraj Singh Thakuri.
Amazing.
So it was a
in
big
season 1. We're just talking in season 1. Wow.
Season 1. Because I wanted to go with a bang. I wanted to get noticed. I wanted Glam Nepal to get noticed.
There was a buzz there. There was a buzz about season 1. Melbourne सम्म होला थियो दाइ.
Hazur. And it was a showcasing where I think 400 people turned out on Sofitel. It was a buzzing, and I'm sure if you guys want to see what season 1 looked like, you go on YouTube and go on Glam Nepal International season 1 hearnus, and I give absolute credit to Saurabh Manandar, DKP Production. He did amazing job to capture everything in detail. So Saurabh, if you're hearing, mate, you are the furniture of Glam Nepal. You'll always be the furniture of Glam Nepal. No matter how many content creators evolve, and I call him dad of content creators.
Yeah, 100%.
Saurabh started
I love
this.
his work.
So Saurabh, if you hear this, probably you're going to transfer me some money in my bank account. But you're amazing, man. You're amazing.
Yeah. Okay, दाइ, that was amazing. अनि दाइ कस्तो थियो च्यालेन्जेसहरू अरू च्यालेन्जेस अपार्ट फ्रम फाइन्डिङ स्पोन्सरसिप आइम प्रिटी स्योर सिजन 1मा त तपाईँको एउटा फ्रेमवर्क पनि रेडी थिएन नि त अनि बिङ completely out of fashion industry. You attempted just on the basis of you attended one fashion show. त्यो पनि सिडनीमा नेपाल बाहिर हैन I think for the very first time I think even the designers-हरुले पनि आफ्नो आर्टहरु लिएर सिडनी आउँदै हुनुहुन्थ्यो हैन बिलिभ गर्न पनि एक किसिमको डेफिनेटली एउटा हिकअप्स त थियो होला what were the other challenges?
Bhai, the challenges were being raw to managing celebrities. उहाँलाई कसरी म्यानेज गर्नुपर्छ मलाई थाहा थिएन है हामी अस्ट्रेलियामा बस्छौँ हामी हम्बल छौँ हामी डाउन टु अर्थ छौँ म त्यही कल्चरमा छु अब म त्यहीमा ढलिसकेँ म 17 वर्ष बसिसकेँ वी आर भेरी डाउन टु अर्थ वी ट्रिट एभ्रीवन इक्वली इभन सेलिब्रिटी or CEO इट्स इक्वल ट्रिटमेन्ट है सो म र थियो कुरामा सो प्रब्ली फ्यु सेलिब्रिटिजहरूलाई मैले त्यो सेलिब्रिटी ट्रिटमेन्ट दिन सकिनँ होला मैले त्यो सिकेँ अर्को कुरा के सिकेँ भन्दाखेरि ओके दिस इज समथिङ द्याट आइभ नेभर डन सो आई हेभ टु भेरी बी क्लोज टु एभ्री डिटेल त्यो सिकेँ अनि
सिजन 1
ढाड पनि भाँची मैले सो मलाई सायटिका भयो सायटिका भनेको हजुरको एउटा यो नर्भ पिन्च हुन्छ कि ब्याकमा किन भयो भन्दाखेरि डिजाइनर्सहरूको जुन थियो प्याकेज रनवेको क्लोथ्सको त्यो कुरियर त नभनौँ उहाँहरूले सुटकेसमै बोकेर आउनुभएको थियो सो मैले सबै एक्लै गर्न चाहेँ किनकि त्यतिखेर प्रब्लम मसँग टिम थिएन किनकि म एउटा म्याडनेसमा थिएँ कि लाइक आम डुइङ समथिङ फर द फर्स्ट टाइम सबैले हेरिराख्नुपर्छ कसरी गर्छ तर प्रब्लली मैले हेल्प मागिनँ होला द्याट्स अ बिगेस्ट लर्निङ फर मी द्याट हेल्प माग्न पनि सिक्नुपर्छ होइन या इट्स गुड टु हेभ यो कन्फिडेन्स इट्स गुड टु बी independent and self-dependent, but it's an art of asking help and helping as well. होइन सो सबै कुरा आफै गर्न चाहिँ त्यो मलाई याद छ त्यो लिफ्ट के भएको थियो अनि हामी फर्स्ट कि सेकेन्ड फ्लोरमा थियो त्यो सुटकेस बोकेर माथि जाँदाखेरि मैले हल्का ढाड चाहिँ मेरो सड्क्यो है आई ह्याड अ स्प्रेन बट आई इग्नोर्ड इट होइन अनि त्यसले गर्दा लङ टर्म इफेक्टमा मैले आई ह्याड टु डु स्टेरोइड इन्जेक्सन अन माई ब्याक एज वेल होइन सो ढाडै फुस्काएर काम गरेको छ है सिजन 1मा होइन सो त्यसैले स्पेसल छ कि मेरो लागि किनकि द फिजिकल द बडीली द मेन्टल च्यालेन्ज एभ्रिथिङ होइन भाइ आई फिल लाइक यु नो इट मेड मी म आफैलाई हिरा डायमन्ड भन्न खोजेन इट मेड मी द डायमन्ड द्याट आई एम इनसाइड माइ सेल्फ के है आई वेन्ट थ्रु इनर्मस प्रेसर Season 1 मा
Yeah.
किनकि it was one man army season 1 है
No other team members were there. Or
these all team members came formed later because
Oh,
I
okay.
started asking for help.
Yeah.
I was not really but I said, can you help me? I see you're really good at this. Can you help me? Binit was there, but Binit was a model as well. And so he had his modeling training, stuff like that. He was there. And he, Mamta Baini made all the cake and all for us. So she was there. Bhimsen Dai was there for day one. Like he was training and all. But training pani ma afai attend garte. I still take all the pull-up banners of my sponsor, and I actually fix the pull-up banner of my sponsor. I don't let anyone do it. I let anyone help me because you know what? When I do that, I take the pride in that. They've invested that money. They've worked really hard on, and they invested that money on Glam Nepal, which means a lot to me. Like they
100%.
believe in the process. Then I respect the pull-up banners or media banners. Like you know, I respect them. I go to a temple and pray to gods. होइन किनकि उहाँको ब्रान्डले नै मेरो ब्रान्डलाई सपोर्ट गरे हो नि त होइन if I didn't have that funding, I would not be able to do all these amazing runways that we see, like you know, in any venues and like you know production, bringing all these designs from overseas, accommodation, tickets, stuff like that.
Sure, Dai. Thank you, Dai. Dai, I know you're very honest. I know. Dai, can you just tell me, if you can recall, how much was the budget of season 1? So at least हुन्छ नि मान्छेहरूलाई एउटा रफली फिगर्स हु पिपल आर इन्ट्रेस्टेड प्रोभाइडली उनीहरूले पनि भोलि गएर एउटा ग्ल्याम नेपाल जस्तै एउटा आफ्नो फेसनमा कन्ट्रिब्युट गर्नु छ भने चाहिँ सिजन 1 को तपाईँको बजेट कति थियो होला भाइ?
Season 1 को budget 35,000 we got to Sofitel, which was including canopies, and then there was another 15,000 or to 20,000 incurred to get all the designers from Nepal to here, visas, and also their accommodation and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then it was basically, so that was the only season where I give free tickets to designers. I'll tell you why I stopped that.
Yeah.
So everything was invested, 35, 50, and we went to 50, and then the rest of the things, mota moti kharchaharu gardakheri 60 to $65,000.
Okay, all right. So can you tell why did you stop that for designers?
The reason why I stopped giving a lot is because I wanted to have designers' skin on the game. Like if they invested, if you give things for free, what will happen is it will not have the value.
Take it for granted.
Yes. But if you have them to buy their own ticket and do their own visas, at least they invested on the show.
Yeah.
Look, their designs, I do not see. They know what they're making. And I don't dictate what you do. But when I got everything for free, I felt like in season 1, I was taken for granted. Right? Again, I think it's a human nature, validation, appreciation, खोज्ने, होइन? Probably त्यो सबै दुःख गर्दाखेरि मैले थोरै भ्यालिडेसन र थोरै एप्रिसिएसन खोजेँ होला होइन कतिले दिनुभयो होइन तर कति ठाउँमा मैले देखेँ कि लाइक ओके बिकज आई गिभन एभ्रिथिङ फर फ्री इट्स फर फ्री छैन मतलब छैन होइन बट द्याट चेन्ज्ड आफ्टर सिजन 2 देन आई स पिपल आर सिरियस अबाउट थिङ्स लाइक यु नो पिपल आर फलोइङ द स्केड्युल स्ट्रक्चर सो त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ मैले त्यसरी सुनेँ अनि बिजनेसलाई पनि भाइबल भयो सस्टेनेबल भयो इफ आई टेक अल द बर्डन देन कन्टिन्युटीको कुरा सस्टेनेबलको कुरामा डाउटहरू आउँछ क्या
100%.
अगेन आम अ फुल टाइम ब्याङ्कर एज वेल भाइ
Yeah.
आई हेभ माई ओन टार्गेट्स अफ ब्याङ्किङ होइन आम अ फुल टाइम हस्बेन्ड हाउस हस्बेन्ड पनि भन्न मिल्छ किनकि आई लभ टु कुक आई लभ टु ब्रिङ गेस्ट टु द हाउस है वाइफ वर्किङ नर्स होइन सिज गट सिफ्ट वर्क एन्ड स्टफ सो त्यो छ अनि बाबु छ अब छोरी पनि आउँदैछ सो बेसिकली मैले पनि एउटा फ्यामिली सस्टेनेबिलिटी पनि त हेर्नु पऱ्यो नि त
100%.
इफ आम बिङ भेरी सेल्फिस एन्ड इन्भेस्टिङ एभ्री डलर द्याट आई अर्न टु अ सो एन्ड आम नट प्रोभाइडिङ द क्वालिटी अफ लाइफ टु माई फ्यामिली देन द्याट्स इम्ब्यालेन्स द्याट आभ क्रिएटेड
एक्ज्याक्टली दाइ न आई लभ यु माइन्ड सेट दाइ किनकि हिजो पनि तपाईँले कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ आई रियली एडमायर द्याट मेन्टालिटी के किनकि यु गाइज ह्याभ टु लुक आफ्टर युर सेल्फ सो त्यो भयो चाहिँ आफूले पैसा हाल्दा पनि यु गाइज विल बी मोर रेस्पोन्सिबल एन्ड आई थिङ्क आई टोटली एक्सेप्ट द्याट पार्ट एन्ड द सेकेन्ड थिङ इज द्याट विल फिल्टर द क्राउड द्याट विल फिल्टर द टिम मेम्बर्स होइन ओन्ली सिरियस पिपल विल कम अन बोर्ड नि त त्यो भएपछि तपाईँलाई झन् सजिलो भयो
हजुर होइन अहिले फ्रीको खाना बाँड्नुहुन्छ फ्रीको लड्डु बाँड्नुहुन्छ भने एभ्री वान विल कम एन्ड टेक इट के
100%.
भोक नलागेको मान्छे पनि आएर खाइदिन्छ क्या बिकज फर द टेस्ट
Yeah.
तर तपाईँले भोकको मान्छेलाई खुवाउनु छ भने नि भोको मान्छेको लागि खुवाउनलाई तपाईँले यु हेभ टु फाइन्ड द्याट भोको मान्छे क्या लाइक
Exactly.
फ्रीमा बाँड्दाखेरि त तपाईँको एफर्टै लागेन नि एफर्ट भनेको लड्डु ल्याएर तपाईँले स्ट्रिटमा ल्याएर राखिदिनु भयो एभ्रिवन गेट्स अ लड्डु
Exactly.
But has a homeless person or a really person who's been hungry since the morning has taken that laddu? Can you assure that? No. Because you know what? You just got it for free.
Yeah.
But if you've done a campaign where you're feeding the homeless, where you're feeding the person in need, the real satisfaction comes there because you
Yeah.
work for it.
Exactly. So now, when we're talking about hunger, like, I know that you're very hungry for success.
Thirsty as well.
Yeah, you're thirsty right now. Of course, go for it. Like, I know. So, I know we have talked a lot about this yesterday as well. What do you think? Hunger. How important is hunger for someone to succeed? In any field. What do you think, according to your view?
Absolutely. Again, I go on hunger. Bhaneko why हो फेरि
Exactly.
हैन So if you're not hungry for it, you don't know the why for it. So I can say you've done this podcast for 2 years.
Yes.
There was a hunger, there's a why. You're a business person, you're an entrepreneur, you're running a very successful business. Maven छ नाम expert. Maven भनेको expert हो.
Exactly.
हैन So you're expert in your profession. But again, you are inspired by other podcasts that you've done, seen. I think before you started, you got inspired, you know. So basically, there's a reason why for everyone. And your hunger, it'll come from inside you. You know? Are you hungry for success? Are you hungry for motivation? Are you hungry for inspiration? It's a very personal topic. है सबैको आफ्नो हुन्छ हैन त प्रोसेस सेम हुन्छ क्या
Yeah.
तपाईँ निम्सालाई हेर्नुहोस् त्यत्रो माउन्टेन चढ्नुभएको छ वाइ बिकज ही वान्टेड टु डु इट नाउ ही वान्ट्स टु डु इट मोर ही वान्ट्स टु डु इट 3 times होइन नाउ द्याट्स अ हङ्गर फर हिम हिज अलरेडी क्लाइम्ब द माउन्टेन वाट्स अ बिग डिल बट ही वान्ट्स टु डु इट 3 times
Yeah.
त्यो हङ्गर भयो क्या उहाँको लागि होइन पहिला चाहिँ ही स्टार्टेड ओके आई वान सेट अ रेकर्ड भन्ने भयो त्यो हङ्गर थियो अहिले त्यो हङ्गर चेन्ज भयो वाइ चेन्ज्ड होइन बिकज ही वान्ट्स टु क्रिएट अनदर रेकर्ड
Exactly.
होइन सो look, hunger is a very raw and very organic thing you should have. त्यो छैन भने त्यो मोटिभेसनै छैन क्या हङ्गर इज सिनोनिमस टु मोटिभेसन भन्छ वाइ वुड यु वान डु द थिङ द्याट यु वान डु तपाईँलाई इफ यु वान गेट अ डिग्री यु वान गेट अ डिग्री बिकज यो मम एन्ड ड्याड हेभ सेड द्याट फर्स्ट डिभिजन आयो लाइक बबल मार्क्स आयो डिस्टिङसन आयो यु हेभ टु बी अ डक्टर त्यो भएर हजुर डक्टर हुँदै हुनुहुन्छ कि यु वान्टेड टु बी अ पाइलट बिकज यु अलवेज वान्टेड टु फ्लाइ
Yeah.
होइन सो हङ्गर भनेको कुरा विल डिफाइन यु विल मेक द यु
Yep.
द हङ्गर द्याट आई हेभ टुडे इफ आई फुलफिल द्याट हङ्गर आल बी द पर्सन इन 3 years अहिले म जे छु त्यो हङ्गर मेरो 2019 मा थियो टु डु समथिङ फर नेपाल मेड इन नेपाल ओ फेमस नेपालमा फेमस हुनुलाई भनेर भन्दा पनि ओके आई डु समथिङ द्याट विल मेक मी फेमस
Yep.
आई डु समथिङ आई मेक मी रेलेभेन्ट मलाई कसैले नेपालमा अफर गर्नुभयो सेम स्यालेरी भने आई probably hesitate even if I get the same salary to go and live in Nepal because I'm so much rooted myself here in Australia to the system that I have here. I am more leaning towards to being here because again I would think about a lot of uncertainties that are in Nepal. त्यसले गर्दा पनि I would be scared हैन तर certainties भए पनि I'm so rooted that I don't want to like yesterday someone said you have to come to Melbourne and live here. I said I'm rooted in Sydney. हैन मेरो roots नै निकालेर if I was seated here I would be here होइन but if I've been seated in Sydney my roots are there मलाई जरक्क जरा निकाले यहाँ फेरि रोप्नु पर्दा म या त मर्न सक्ने चान्सेस पनि त हुन्छ नि बिरुवामा पनि त्यही हुन्छ नि भाइ होइन बिरुवामा पनि तिमीले उखलेर ल्याएर कोही रोप्यो भने त्यो मर्ने चान्सेस धेरै छ नि त बाँच्ने चान्सेस भन्दा होइन सो बेसिकली कमिङ ब्याक टु द हङ्गर टपिक अगेन इट अल कोरिलेट्स टु द थिङ्स द्याट यु डु इन यर लाइफ एन्ड इट्स अ भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट ड्राइभ यु सुड हेभ इट हङ्गर भनेको फेरि पेटको मात्र हङ्गर होइन मनको हङ्गर हुनु पऱ्यो दिमागको हङ्गर हुनु पऱ्यो होइन एन्ड फिटनेस होस् फाइनेन्स होस् र फ्यामिली होस् सबैमा हङ्गर राख्नुहोस् फ्यामिलीलाई टाइम दिनुहोस् मैले भनिरहेको छु त्यो है फेरि बिकज कति ठाउँ आई फिल गिल्टी के लाइक आम हियर टुडे हिजो छोराको हिजो छोराको इस्टर परेड थियो इस्टर परेडको ह्याड लगाएर बसिरहेको छ आई फिल गिल्टी के आई कुड हेभ बिन देयर भनेर होइन तर प्रोबब्ली दिस स्मल सेक्रिफाइसेस द्याट आम मेकिङ एन्ड द sacrifices my son is making and my wife is making is going to define us in 3 years.
Exactly.
In 3 वर्षको टाइममा probably there will be more time for me to just be with my son. त्यो हो नि त
100%. He was looking very very cute, है Javian. Anyways, that hunger को म अलिकति डीपमा जान्छु है for example, you have made a very great team there. I've seen that. I've witnessed through my own eyes. And they did amazing. Every single person, I think they fulfilled their responsibilities. I think they exceeded the expectations you had.
Absolutely.
Kinaki, I saw them working hands-on. Right? Now, I'm pretty sure it took you some time to make that great team. I know the A team. Now, if you have a choice again to have one competent team, to hire a competent team member, or to hire a, let's say, a hungry team member, which one would you choose and why? That यो चाहिँ हाम्रो कुनै पनि entrepreneur या कुनै पनि team builder को लागि एकदम important question हुन सक्छ हैन तपाईको पर्सपेक्टिभमा there's no right, there's no wrong. हजुरको पर्सपेक्टिभमा if you wanted to have a hunger team member or a competent team member, which one would you choose and why?
I think you want an answer here, which is to choose one. I would make it a mixed bag, भन्छु.
Oh.
किन भन्दाखेरि, say for example, मलाई प्लेनमा एकदमै इन्ट्रेस्ट छ होइन म प्लेनको मेकानिकल्स बुझ्नु मन छ. I want to be an engineer.
Yep.
I have to study for it. होइन I have to get a degree or I have to get the practical on-job training हुन्छ के हुन्छ to make me competent.
Yeah.
होइन I have that hunger of becoming that mechanical engineer. होइन and have I pursued anything? है त्यो हङ्गरले मात्र भएन कि. You have to have skill. You have to have some sort of tool to like get there. म अब जस्तो छ हङ्गर म एकदम हङ्ग्री छु मलाई त्यो पुल चाहिँ बनाउनु मन छ होइन तर पुल बनाउनु मलाई आउँदैन भने जस्तो मैले कहीँ गएर सिक्नु पऱ्यो नि त होइन या त मैले हङ्ग्री मेरो हङ्गरनेस कहाँमा मैले निकाल्ने भन्दाखेरि मैले कोही एक्सपर्ट लिएर आएँ जसले पुल बनाउँछ म उसँग एकदम मेहनत गरेर काम गर्छु. उसलाई के असिस्टेन्स चाहिन्छ उसलाई के टुल चाहिन्छ म लिएर आउँछु. आई लेट हिम प्लान एन्ड आई बिकम द लजिस्टिक्स पर्सन होइन. सो इन द सेन्स अहिले पनि मैले त्यही गर्छु. आई सी जस्तो रिजु बहिनीहरू मानव भाइ दे भेरी हङ्ग्री भेरी हङ्ग्री बट देन गर भनेर म चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई छोड्दिनँ नि त. आई केम हियर यस्टरडे फर द्याट किनकि आई एम कम्पिटेन्ट इन डुइङ फेसन सोज होइन. And they have been a model. They have just started in the team. त्यो भनेर they're very hungry, they're very motivated. Hunger भनेको motivated हो नि होइन भनेर छोड्नु र as a competent person आएर उनीसँग मिक्स भएर आफ्नो 2 cents दिएर होइन. Again learning, I have a lot of learning from Riju Baini. I have a lot of learning from Manav. I have a lot of learning from you, bhai. The amount of contacts that you made possible yesterday, we spoke a lot. So त्यो विषयमा चाहिँ मैले हेर्दाखेरि I would do a mixed bag by any successful team that you build, you need that competent person and a motivated person. Now let's say a motivated person is a hungry person who has a hunger to learn.
Exactly.
I know. Learn and earn, not earn and learn. Learn and then earn.
Exactly.
So त्यो हिसाबमा चाहिँ I could not choose one.
Okay.
I have to choose a mixed bag.
Sure, no problem. Thank you so much, Dai. Thank you very much. All right, now coming back to Glam Nepal Season 1. Dai, what was your biggest learning from Season 1 that you implemented in Season 2? Of Season 2 मा jump गरौँ. So, आफूलाई लाग्छ नि त Season 2 मा चाहिँ Season 1 मा चाहिँ यो मिस भएछ. All right, or this is something that I've learned. Season 2 मा चाहिँ मलाई implement गर्नु मन छ. So, how long gap you took from Season 1 to Season 2 and what was the best thing you implemented in Season 2? Glam Nepal.
I think one word I would say is pivot.
Okay.
Pivot is the word that I learned from Glam Nepal to Glam Nepal 2. The reason I say is there's a global change that happened from after Season 1. The global change was COVID, right? So we planned Season 2, we got visas, everything ready. KIC.
Sorry, just for my understanding for my audience, Season 2 happened after COVID?
Yes.
And Season 1 happened before
COVID.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you explain the years as well, Dai?
2019.
2019.
And 2022.
2022, okay.
Right? I'm sorry, 2023. 2022, something else happened, I'll tell you.
Yep.
Right? So there was a gap of 4 years, but in this gap, I learned the word pivot. Pivot bhaneko, okay, you are heading in a direction, but if there's some sort of disruption, then you need to detour. Detour to get to that destination. So that detour happened in a very beautiful way, but it was chaotic. So I'll go back to season 2. Glam Nepal season 2 हुनलाई 2020 मा हामी प्लान गर्यौँ. फेरि सफिटेलमै बुक गर्यौँ टु बी सेफ, टु डु बेटर अन द्याट भेन्यू. अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ हामीले भिजा पनि गऱ्यौँ, बुक पनि भयो. सो 23rd of मार्चमा सो हुनेवाला थियो कि 27th मा थियो. 28th मा लकडाउनै अनाउन्स भयो अस्ट्रेलियामा. अस्ट्रेलियन गभर्मेन्ट लकडाउन अनाउन्स, नो वान एल्स कम्स फ्रम anywhere in the world to Australia भनेर. Everything went down the drain, the preparations and everything. है फाइनेन्सियल लस त भयो, तर मोर मोटिभेसनल लस भयो क्या. लाइक यस्तो राम्रो पेस भइसक्यो, यस्तो राम्रो हाइप भइसकेको छ. इफ आई क्यान राइड द वेभ, I'm crashing on the wave. I wanted to ride on the wave like a surfer.
100%.
Season 1 बाट जुन wave create गरेको थियो हामीले, I was trying to ride that, right? But then what happens, I crashed. Wave is छैन. Where's the wave? अनि त्यसपछि लकडाउनमा हामी भयो. अनि म लकडाउनमा अब काम पनि हामी वर्किङ फ्रम होम, काम पनि धेरै हुन्थेन. ब्याङ्किङ एभ्री मर्निङ आई थिङ्क 10 कि 11 बजे त्यो हाम्रो न्यू साउथ वेल्सको प्रिमियरले आएर अनाउन्स गर्नुहुन्थ्यो लकडाउन हेज बिन एक्सटेन्डेड फर अनदर विक भनेर.
How depressing, is that?
So त्यस्तो थियो. तर द ब्युटिफुल थिङ द्याट ह्यापन इज जेभियन वाज बोर्न इन 2020 होइन. 22nd of July 2020.
Okay. So you're productive then as well.
Okay. I got the most beautiful time with my son.
Wow.
Right? Xavier.
Yeah.
And I was locked in. I'm a very social person, bhai. If I don't go out of the house one day, I'm depressed. I need to meet people to be me. Right? That's my character. But lockdown really didn't let me do that. Even lockdown when त्यो 5 जना घरमा आउनु पाउँदाखेरि म लुकी बारबेक्यू गर्थेँ क्या. I love hosting people. I love having people in my house. है. So त्यो भयो. So fast forward गर्दाखेरि अब 2022 मा लकडाउन भन्नाले हाम्रो अस्ट्रेलियाको लकडाउन त एन्ड भयो, तर ओभरसिज लकडाउन स्टिल थियो. अनि आई फिल भेरी भेरी इरेलेभेन्ट के. लाइक किन एउटा के गरेर एकदम हाईमा गइसकेको छ, देन यु नट एबल टु गेट देयर भन्दाखेरि इट्स लाइक बिकेम लाइक अ ड्रग. एउटा ड्रग भयो कि, एडिक्सन भयो कि मलाई. आई निड दिस भन्यो. तर वाट क्यान आई डु, मेरो कन्ट्रोलमा छैन. ओभरसिज मान्छे आउनु पाउँदैन. सर वाइ क्यान आई फोकस अन अस्ट्रेलियन डिजाइनर्स भनेर भने होइन. इट केम जस्ट लाइक द्याट थट है. एन्ड आई सेड ओके अस्ट्रेलियाज नेक्स्ट अफ डिजाइनर, त्यो नेम आयो. अनि म गुगलमा गएँ, कसैले लिएको त छैन यो नाम भनेर हेरेको, कसैले लिएको छैन. आई रेजिस्टर कम्पनी स्ट्रेट अवे, अस्ट्रेलियाज नेक्स्ट अफ डिजाइनर. देन आई अनाउन्स इट. अनि I said, okay, how can I do this differently? And त्यसपछि ग्ल्याम नेपाल सकिएपछि मैले युबी थापालाई चाहिँ सिजन 1 मा अकोरियममा लिएर गएको थिएँ कि. अकोरियममा लिएर जाँदाखेरि यत्तिकै एम्बियन्स युबी ब्रो यहाँ फेसन सो गर्न कतिको रमाइलो हुन्छ भन्दा यत्तिकै भन्दै थिएँ क्या मैले. युबीले बबाल हुन्छ नि ब्रो यस्तो एम्बियन्समा गर्नु पाए त, नेभर हेज बिन डन बिफोर भने होइन. त्यो मेरो माइन्डमा थियो कि. आई सेड ओ वाउ, व्हाई डोन्ट आई युज अक्वारियम. सो युबी एन्ड आई वेन्ट टु अक्वारियम. अनि त्यो एम्बियन्समा आई जस्ट आस्क हिम लाइक जस्ट युबीजी यहाँ फेसन सो गर्दा कस्तो हुन्छ नि. इट्स लाइक इट्स गोना बी अमेजिङ. यस्तो एम्बियन्समा सो गर्न सक्यो त दामी हो नि. यस्तो त कहिले पनि भएको छ, नेपालको हिस्ट्रीमै भएको छैन भन्नुभयो. अनि नेपालमा अभियसली अक्वारियमहरू त छैन. सो त्यो थट त्यहीँनिर रह्यो. अनि त्यो थट चाहिँ 2022 मा बल्ल रेलिभेन्ट भयो. 2019 को थट जुन थियो त्यो पोस्ट सो म यो डिजाइनरलाई घुमाउन लिइरहेको छु, जाँदाखेरि अक्वारियम देखाउनै पर्यो. त्यो त्यहाँ भएको कुरा चाहिँ द सिड गट इन टु बी अ सिडलिङ इन 2022 बिकज अभियसली आई कुड नट कन्डक्ट ग्ल्याम नेपाल सिजन 2 बिकज अफ द बोर्डर क्लोजर्स एन्ड स्टफ. जुन कोभिड लकडाउन थियो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि मैले नेपालबाट डिजाइनर स्टिल ल्याउन पाएको थिएन. सिजन 2 को त कति पनि मैले केही गर्न सक्ने स्थिति देखाएको थिएन. सो त्यहाँ चाहिँ मैले एउटा silver lining के देखेँ, if I have to continue the legacy, if I have to continue my why, and if I have to put that log in the fire that I've already like lit, अनि त्यो फायर त्यो निम्न दिनु भएन नि त. त्यो आगोलाई निम्न दियो भने त फेरि आगो फुक यो गर, त्यो धेरै एफर्ट हुन्छ होइन. सो आई स्टिल हेभ टु पुट सम मोर दाउरा. सो त्यो हिसाबमा चाहिँ त्यो लग बिकेम अस्ट्रेलियाज नेक्स्ट अफ डिजाइनर. द्याट थट केम इन टु माई प्लेस. ओके वाइ डोन्ट आई वर्क विथ अस्ट्रेलियन डिजाइनर्स just for the time being, so I can also focus on Australian designers. There are a lot of talented designers here. Australian Fashion Week ma janu huncha. They perform there as well. But there are a lot of people wanting to get to Australian Fashion Week, but they can't because they haven't built themselves that much. So why don't I become the mediocre platform to help them build that portfolio? So I kind of went the journey, pitched the idea. 5 designers came
From Australia
from
designers.
Australia.
Wow.
Australia designers. And I told them the aquarium, the venue. There was a question. Kaile ra kaha? Kaile bhanda pani kaha भन्ने बित्तिकै, okay, it's in the aquarium. When I said it's in the aquarium, the fashion show, they would say, I'm in. Let's do it.
Wow.
This sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Like never been done before. So we are the first ever Australian fashion show or a company to do an underwater fashion show. So I take that as a pride, not as arrogance. That whenever I explain the portfolio of fashion shows that I do, I say Australia's Next Up Designer is the first ever company to do an underwater fashion show in Australia. Not
Amazing.
Sydney, not in Sydney, Australia.
Deserves a round of applause.
Thank you. So that happened, and then Australia's Next Up Designer. I'm sure you've seen some Instagram content and stuff like
that
that,
was
which you can
amazing,
share with your viewers. That runway was just so well received, so well prized. I know. We had 30 models, 5 designers, underwater theme, sharks going around the tank, models walking through.
That was so cool. Like, I watched the video.
Absolutely, models walking like mermaid. And men walking like Aquaman. You know?
Wow.
So Aquaman and Mermaid is what we created in that Australia's Next Up Designer. The content were amazing. Then it just gave me more confidence to have more Australian designers to work with me when I created Glam Nepal, because Glam Nepal, it was a thought about taking Nepal fashion global.
Yeah.
But if I'm only showcasing Nepali designer on a show, and how is it global then? I need to have someone from Australia or someone from other countries participate together with them to make it as a global fashion show. So that's where I think I earned the trust of Australian designers, that okay, this guy is not just a bluff master.
Amazing. Like, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Alright, like, so Australia top next designer पनि बर्न भइसक्यो अब.
हजुर.
So त्यसपछि चाहिँ अब season 2 गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ what were the new things that you implemented from Australia top next designer र season 1 पछि चाहिँ तपाईले season 2 मा चाहिँ के चाहिँ different गर्नुभयो दाइ?
So season 2 जुन 2023 मा भयो अनि 2022 मा चाहिँ Australia's Next Up Designer भयो. त्यहाँ चाहिँ मैले के एउटा idea देखेँ भन्दाखेरि, okay, now it's a time for me to merge Australian designers and Nepali designers together.
Yep.
So I had a Nepali designer called SACAR from overseas. The reason I only applied for one is त्यतिखेर पनि त्यो confidence of visa was very low because of the international travel and like COVID lingering around. But I had these 5 other designers or 6 other designers applying. Oh, I want to be on the next runway because Australia's Next Up Designer aquarium was amazing. You know what you're doing. You do amazing shows, and also you're not charging any fees, which is a great thing. So you want to be a part of it. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I can test it out. Now I bring 1 designer from Nepal and then have another 4 designers from Australia, 5 designers showcase together, and put up the same show in Sofitel. Do the exact thing that I did in 2019, the structure, but participant-wise, have 1 Nepali designer, work with 4 other designers and see how the working together goes, the fusion. And राम्रो देख्छ त भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ मैले टेस्ट गरेँ 2023 मा. Was a huge success. Everyone loved it. I'm sure you can see content of 2023 in YouTube and on Instagram. It was a well-received fusion of Nepali and Australian designers. First time ever.
Wow.
Right? I mean, that's what actually I was able to carry forward for 2024, which was season 3. Right? Season 2 मा जुन हामीले काम गरियो त्यसलाई चाहिँ अझै एम्प्लिफाई गर्नलाई चाहिँ हामीले सिजन 3 मा आयो. सिजन 3 मा हामीले अझै एम्प्लिफाई गरौँ भनेर चाहिँ हामीले मोडल्स पनि ल्याइयो नेपालबाट 3 जना मोडल्स, 5 जना डिजाइनर नेपालबाट ल्याइयो. Now established designers and then upcoming designers Nepal. Okay. So everyone gets an equal chance.
True.
Right? And we had 1 Singaporean designer and we had 2 Australian designers. Right? So that fusion was so well received in 2024 Calix Botanical Garden.
Amazing
heart of Sydney. That's the location where the prime weddings, the big weddings of Sydney siders, the affluent, the A-listers wedding or and the reason I picked the venue is because I think GlamNepal is such a baby. I need to give the right nutrients. Like I treat GlamNepal and Australia's Next Up Designer as my babies before Xavier. Before Xavier was born.
Yeah.
who he was born in 2020, but the idea of Glam Nepal was already born in 2019.
Yeah.
Right? So त्यसले गर्दाखेरि मलाई चाहिँ I am forever treating these two brands, two companies like my kids, babies. अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि I think I picked the right nutrients, I picked the right clothing, I picked the right school, भनौँ न analogy-मा. So yeah, I mean, it gives me immense pleasure to see these two kids of mine have grown so significantly.
That's amazing, right? Kudos to you, होइन. You have brought these brands into such a bigger heights, होइन. कुनै पनि मलाई पनि अहिले प्राइड लाग्छ कि हुन्छ नि ओहो सिडनीमा पनि इभन when I was talking to my colleagues as well, ग्ल्याम नेपालको उनीहरूले भिडियोजहरू हेर्दा पनि the brand that you have created के एउटा standard के that's something very exceptional.
Thank you, bhai.
Now, anyways, दाइ सो सिजन 2 को पनि कुरा गऱ्यो हामीले सिजन 3 को पनि कुरा गऱ्यो होइन. सो सिजन 3 पछि सिजन 4 को त डेफिनेटली फर्स्टमा कुरा गरि नै सक्यो. सो वाट वर द थिङ्स द्याट यु वान्टेड, किनकि तपाईँले सिजन 3 मा यु ब्रट मोडल्स फ्रम नेपाल, यु डिन्ट ब्रिङ एनी पब्लिक फिगर्स. फेरि अगेन इन सिजन 4 यु ब्रट पब्लिक फिगर्स लाइक सिजन 1 होइन. सो समथिङ डिफ्रेन्ट है. सो वाट न्यू थिङ्स द्याट यु वान्टेड टु डु इन यर हेड फर सिजन 4 लुकिङ एट सिजन 3?
Season 4 मा चाहिँ मलाई चाहिँ it was the outdoor runway in sort of Darling Harbour, where you see sky and skyscrapers on the background. Your first year mirror vision, which partly happened, though we changed the venue from outdoor to indoor because of the weather. It partly happened.
Yeah.
But in that, no was it on fireworks to celebration of fireworks on that runway with no shade on an open sky was basically the challenge, or was the thought.
Yeah.
And this month it's a role model. So like I wanted to bring, yes, there were 2 celebrities from Nepal, but then again there were 2 or 3 role models of Australia that have been through the journey of coming as a student, working and setting their career in a path, and then like, you know, being a very successful person and not stopping there. As a successful person, they're inspiring a lot of other people in the same journey. Yeah. So I wanted to put them on the spotlight, and I'm so glad, Vicky, you were there. And I called you and said, Vicky, I want you to do this, and you probably didn't have any idea that I'm gonna.
No clue at all, like.
Yeah. So and Ranjita had the same sort of like, you know, awe or same sort of excitement that okay, well, you see me as that, which is great. You're my friend, but you also see me as that person. He was very happy. So for me, I think it's all about putting the spotlight on the people that deserve to be on that spotlight, so that like that spotlight's gonna amplify those people to inspire more other people. And look, I want more other Vickies, more other Ranjits to come into Glam Nepal runway. Look, you don't have to have experience as a runway model. We'll give you the training. So that's a strength of Glam Nepal. We do not have to have you as a runway model. Like, you do not need your experience. If you have, that's good. But if you don't have it, we're there to train. Bims and Dai is an amazing trainer that gets in 6 weeks you as a supermodel. The way you walked, I'm sure you went through training as well, but you did not get as much training as the Sydney siders did.
Yeah, true.
But if you can do it, mate, in that short span of time, I'm sure you can inspire a lot of other people to be fit. First of all, you have to be fit.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And you have to look after your aesthetic. And you also, aesthetic is not just your suit or your presentation, it's your things that come out of your mouth. The words, the aura, or the kindness, the inspiration. So like kudos to you and kudos to other people that do this really well.
Yeah, nah, thank you so much, Dai, for the opportunity. Honestly, सोचेको पनि थिएन, हुन्छ नि, it was my teenage dream, हैन, just I've mentioned to my social media as well. Yeah, Dai, कुनै फ्यासन सोहरू 16 17 इयर्समा हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ देख्थेँ मैले साथीहरूले गरिरहेको.
ओके
हैन, अनि त्यतिखेर त्यो ड्रिम अलरेडी मारिसकेको थिएँ, हैन, तर तपाईको फोन आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ वाइ नट, हैन, स्पेशली एज अ सो ओपनर हुँदाखेरि त त्यो त मेरो लागि चाहिँ बियोन्ड द ड्रिम्स नै अपर्च्युनिटी थियो. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ दाइ I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Look,
to you
deserve
to Glam Nepal, to Huba, and everyone involved.
No, you deserve it, and Huba saw it. I believed in you. There was a process.
दाइ honestly कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो यत्रो प्रिपरेसन गर्यो नि त, कुनै दिमागमा चाहिँ ओ माई गड जस्ट फर द्याट वर्क, होइन, मेलबर्नदेखि सिडनीसम्म, स्पेसली अन द सेम साइड अहिले कमिटमेन्ट्सहरू पनि अलिकति हाई छ बिकज आम स्टडिङ राइट नाउ. तर त्यो त्यो 2 मिनट होइन त्यो एउटा वक होइन त्यो प्रिपरेसन कति धेरै लाग्यो हुन्छ नि क्या एडिक्टिभ हुँदो रहेछ क्या दाइ
हो नि
नेक्स्ट टाइम कहिले हुन्छ
हो नि मेलबर्न हुँदैछ त
होइन एक्ज्याक्टली मजा चाहिँ आउँदो रहेछ दाइ तर नट वेट यदि अपर्च्युनिटी आयो भने अगेन टु वर्क अगेन
You are a part of the family now. There's no going back.
थ्याङ्क यू सो मच दाइ 100%. एनिवेज दाइ अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ गफ एकदमै मिठो भइरहेछ तर आई फिल लाइक वी निड टु टेक अ सर्ट कमर्सियल ब्रेक विल टेक अ भेरी क्विक ब्रेक एन्ड त्यसपछि विल कम
Thank
ब्याक
you.
सो थ्याङ्क यू सो मच गाइज स्टे ट्युन्ड चियर्स
Thank you.
This podcast is presented by Maven Consulting Group. Reach out to them if you have any education and visa inquiry. Knowledge partner, Rees International College. They offer many courses such as aged care, commercial cookery, disability, early childhood, and many more. Supported by Capcom Home Loans, Australia's leading home loan specialist. Magic Momo Cafe, a perfect destination in Melbourne for an authentic Nepalese and Newari cuisines. Yatra The Connection, अस्ट्रेलियामा नेपालीहरूको लागि सबैभन्दा भरपर्दो ट्राभल कम्पनी. Many Films, your photography and videography partner to capture your perfect moment. 25 Hours, the marketing boost you need for your business. Alright, welcome back viewers. एकदमै गफ मिठो भइरहेछ. The podcast has never been this much glamorous before. है एकदमै ग्ल्याम नेपालले एकदमै नै बवाल ग्ल्याम ल्याइरहेछ हाम्रो पडकास्टमा थ्याङ्क्स टु दिपक दाई. एनिवेज लेट्स गेट ब्याक टु दि कन्टेन्ट. अलराइट दिपक दाई वेलकम ब्याक आफ्टर ब्रेक.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
कस्तो फिल भइरहेछ दाई?
I feel like, this podcast should be like 4 or 5 hours. So like the feeling that I am getting to express and I'm getting to relive the memories of Glam Nepal or my personal life or the journey. Like, when you climb a summit and then like, when you get on the top, then you start recollecting the memories of walking to Ukalo Oralo. That's what's happening. So I'm loving it, bro.
Thank you, Dai. What about the Prosecco, Dai? How are you feeling?
Prosecco is very happy inside me. Like, to be honest, this is I don't recommend this or encourage alcohol, but this is the best breakfast one can have. Makes you happy for the whole day.
Exactly. दाइ तपाईँले मेलबर्नमा गएर चाहिँ अनि टक्क भाउजूलाई चाहिँ के सिकेर आयो मेलबर्नबाट भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ प्रोसेको खाना भन्नु
Prosecco for breakfast. Liquid diet.
Liquid diet. Alright. Anyways, guys, दाइ मैले तपाईँको चाहिँ ग्ल्याम नेपालको जर्नी एज अ तपाईँको सिइओ एज अ फाउन्डरको रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटिजहरू त देखेँ होइन. यु डिड अमेजिङ एट डुइङ अमेजिङ एन्ड आइम प्रिटी स्योर यु विल अचिभ अ लट अफ मोर एज वेल. नाउ दाइ आई अलवेज फिल लाइक हुन्छ नि ह्याबिट्स पर्सनल लाइफ इज एज इक्वली इम्पोर्टेन्ट एज प्रोफेसनल करियर होइन. तपाईँको पर्सनल लाइफ राम्रो छ भने यु विल एक्सेल इन प्रोफेसनल करियर मोर जस्तो फिल हुन्छ मलाई. एन्ड जुन मैले कन्भर्सेसन्स तपाईँसँग गरेँ हिजो अस्ति या पहिला अलिकति ब्रिफ भए पनि आई फिल लाइक द पर्सन यु आर फ्रम इनसाइड इज इक्वली अमेजिङ एज वेल है. सो त्यसले गर्दा फेरि चाहिँ लेट्स ट्राई टु टच डाउन तपाईँको पर्सनल लाइफ पनि. दाइ फर्स्ट अफ अल आई वान्ट टु नो मोर अबाउट यर टाइम म्यानेजमेन्ट स्किल्स है. किनकि युआर अ प्रोफेसनल ब्याङ्कर, यु वर्क फुल टाइम, your wife is pregnant for second baby, you already got a son which you love a lot, plus you have given ample amount of time. मैले देखिरहेको हुन्छ तपाईँको स्टोरिजहरूमा. प्लस ग्ल्याम नेपाल उत्तिकै ठुलो कमिटमेन्ट है. सो दाइ हाउ डु यु म्यानेज टाइम दाइ?
Time say I think it's a very subjective thing. If you believe in something or if you want something, you'll make time for it. So time bhaneko aba we wake up in the morning and then we go to bed around 10. So त्यो बिचको टाइममा चाहिँ I have profession to manage. I have husband duties. I have father duty, or I have an entrepreneur duty. I have a employee duty. So I think it's a juggling work. Like हुन्छ नि त्यो हजुरले सर्कसमा जाँदाखेरि I'm sure you wondered how that joker doing that cycling juggles the ball.
Exactly.
Multitasking. So मलाई चाहिँ I think I have learned the art of multitasking भन्छु होइन. But I'm not perfect. I'm still learning होइन. Also what I do, I think with time management, I set my priorities. What needs first? I'm like absolutely first family. Family priority मा मलाई स्कुल जेएमलाई ड्रप गर्नु छ भने जेएम comes first, drop him and then get to my work, open my laptop. And I have a very fortunate position where I'm working at the moment with Commonwealth Bank. I get to work from home. and the manager has trust in me. It's not about going to office for driving 1 hour and driving 1 hour back. They actually think that, okay, save that 1 hour and work for your family or do your family thing, and you can work from home and you can create the same output that you want to create at the office, do it from home. So त्यो म एउटा blessing छ हैन. Not many people have that blessing. I totally acknowledge that, because some people have to go to 9 to 5. Some people have hospitality that working from home within, and hospitality needs to be there. So I consider myself very fortunate in that thing but I also have worked really hard. By 2008 देखि चाहिँ 2015 सम्म there was nothing in my life that was a passion. The only passion that I had was PR.
Okay.
The only passion that I had is paisa in my bank account. But I worked so hard. I've been such a good saver. I have been a good professional, I would say, that it gave me this sort of space from 2019 till today, 2025, that I can at least pursue my passion.
Wow.
So profession or passion, one, you can do two different things. I look, if you have the means, do it by all means. But if you don't have the means, please focus on your profession first. Profession ma janus, आफ्नो नाम बनाउनुस्, काम बनाउनुस्, दाम बनाउनुस्, अनि passion and focus गर्नुस्.
Exactly.
Philanthropy and passion comes when you have money in your pocket.
Exactly.
I know, in your bank account.
I agree.
But if you go philanthropy in the very beginning, taking your profession on the side, crash landing hunsa, you won't get there, you know? So in that sense, time management pani त्यही हो. Like, you know, if you manage the time for your family and then you have priorities for your work and you have priorities, you can do multitasking. Like, अहिलेको जमानामा सबैले multitasking गर्छ. You're watching TikTok and you're watching a movie as well, हैन र?
Exactly.
TikTok मा तपाई scroll गर्न थाल्नुहुन्छ, movie मा एउटा गीत आयो भने तपाईले TikTok scroll गर्नु. किनकि your brain is so much multitasking, हैन?
100%.
Just put your multitasking into a purpose. As long as the multitasking has a purpose, you will achieve. And look, I get that question a lot of time. Kasari garcha manage? How do you do it? And I also wonder by. Like GlamNepal ko show ko dinma मैले कहिले गर्दिन अबदेखि show भन्छु मैले. Because you know the amount of pressure that I go through. No man, I'm not going to do this again. Like किन गर्छु म यो मेरो 1 वर्ष कम गरिरहेको छु मेरो आफ्नो जुनीमा हैन. मेरो लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेन्सी मा 1 वर्ष कम भइरहेको छ यो स्ट्रेसले गर्दा जस्तो भन्छु. विनीतले मलाई भन्छ किन यत्रो स्ट्रेस लिन्छ, अब त रिटायरमेन्ट हुने बेला आयो तिरो. But 2 days passed, again, what's next?
Yeah. Nice one. Anyways, what I've noticed, अस्ति म सिडनी जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ शोको ड्युरेसनमा चाहिँ like people said, हैन, there's a hand of woman behind every man's success. So मैले चाहिँ त्यो स्टेटमेन्ट अहिले किन भने भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ I saw भाउजू being so happy holding hands when you actually walk that runway. So it is supportive. Being a pregnant, she was there. I know. I think probably after party mani hununthyo. So even though you were busy with your friends, she was there for you. So wow, that was something that I really, really liked. You know, I feel अहिलेको generation I see a lot of ambitious men having a problem in their relationship or ambitious women having a problem in their relationship because they are thriving to their goals, whereas their partner could not really understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas in your case, you are an ambitious man as well. We all know that. You're going beyond your comfort zone. Plus, Bauzu is supporting that. Has it always been like this? You have overcome some challenges and where you actually found the hacks between both of you, and now you guys are in a happy place, building the same dream.
Look, she's the biggest cheerleader of your career since 2019. She's been the biggest cheerleader. 2009, she was a model as well, GlamNepal. She worked as a model.
Oh, wow.
We were already married in 2017. And in 2019, 2008, Nepal janda pani yo sabai journey ma त्यो एउटा movie छ नि सुई धागा भन्ने movie छ. If you haven't watched it, watch. It's all about fashion and a person creating a brand. A Bollywood movie, Sui Dhaga. So it was the same journey. She was with me all the time. And I think in due course of time, we built a relationship. We were, I think, fragile as well. It hasn't not been the very best as well, but it has been the best as well. Worst and best come together. It's a two-side of the coin. But I think what's really worked well is communication. Previously, I used to be more expecting to the other person to understand, but now I am more communicative that the other person understands. And then she's an individual, I'm an individual. She's got her own goals as well. She's in nursing. She has a very caring brain and heart. And I am a very ambitious person. I am all numbers oriented person because I'm in finance. And I'm logical, she's emotional. Right? So पहिला पहिला चाहिँ मैले बुझ्नुपर्छ नि त मैले यत्रो गर्छ लाइक म बाहिर गइरहेछ म काम गरिरहेछ यताउति भन्दिनँ उसले पनि गर्छ होइन तर बुझाउन जान्थेन होला कि मैले आई वुड नट बी कम्युनिकेटिभ आई वुड बी लाइक दिस एल्फा द्याट हेज लाइक कन्ट्रोल एन्ड लाइक हुन्छ नि सी हेज टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड होइन आफै बुझ्नुपर्ने कुरा हो यो होइन आई गो आउट आई हसल आई ग्राइन्ड आम डुइङ फुल टाइम जब आम डुइङ ग्ल्याम नेपाल सेभिङ वाज नट देयर एट द्याट टाइम होइन सो there has come a time very low in our relationship and it has only taken us to the very high.
Okay.
Right? If I'm saying look I've always been fantastic, I'm lying. You know, we have not been fantastic always, right? But there comes a time where you educate to communicate in a relationship, things will happen.
Amazing.
And don't expect to the other person to understand automatically. The other person is not a psychic. Right? As long if you have a psychic wife or a husband, that's good. That's fair enough. Right? But please take time to communicate and tell what you're feeling. Tell what your ambition is. Like for me, I told her like I know you have to look after Xavier for 2 days, school drop off and pick up. You have to manage your work around. But I have to really be in Melbourne. I have to be in Melbourne because there are 2 hungry people in Melbourne wanting to do something.
Yeah.
I know. And I have to be the competent person to go and give them guidance.
And she understood.
She understood. She said, okay, no, go. That's fine. I'll manage.
Very sweet of her.
And I'm here for 2 days. I'm flying tomorrow back there. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I know. So म चाहिँ त्यो हेर्छु क्या लाइक पहिला पहिला म आफ्नो सेक्रिफाइसेसहरू आफ्नो ग्राइन्ड हेर्थेँ भने अहिले म उसको सेक्रिफाइसेस र उसको ग्राइन्ड पनि हेर्छु क्या आई थिङ्क इट्स अ ह्युमन थिङ आई एम लर्निङ एज वेल लुक आई हेभ नट बिन अ भेरी पर्फेक्ट पर्सन आई हेभ बिन एरोगेन्ट आई हेभ बिन रुड आई हेभ बिन nasty as well maybe होइन तर now I feel like I'm more acceptance is what I see कुरा गर्दा भयो पहिला म कुरा त्यति गर्थिनँ म त्यति एक्सप्रेसिभ थिइनँ
नाइस दाइ सो ह्याप्पी दाइ अर्को एउटा मलाई तपाईँको पर्सनल लाइफको बारेमा सोध्नु मन लागेको कुरा चाहिँ होइन आई सी लाइक हुन्छ नि यु आर सो एक्सट्रोभर्ट मैले अघि नै भने जस्तै लाइक हुन्छ नि आई वेटेड अ लङ टाइम जस्ट टु टेक अ पिक्चर अन द्याट इभेन्ट डे सो एभ्रीबडी भ्याल्युज यु लट होइन अनि तपाईँले पनि त्यही अनुसारको अन टप अफ द्याट युर गिभर होइन यु लभ टु होस्ट फ्रेन्ड्स फ्यामिलीज तपाईँको घरमा यु वान कुक फर देम एन्ड स्टफ लाइक द्याट दाइ त्यो लेभलको एक्सट्रिम नेटवर्किङ फ्यामिली प्रेसर उत्तिकै बिजनेसको प्रेसर उत्तिकै होइन आइम प्रिटी स्योर यो माइन्ड निड सम रिचार्ज है सो त्यो टाइम चाहिँ तपाईँले कहिले पाउनुहुन्छ अनि हाउ डु यु हुन्छ नि रिचार्ज युर सेल्फ जुनले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यु वान्टेड टु हेभ द्याट एनर्जी कमिङ ब्याक अगेन आइम प्रिटी स्योर एभ्रीबडी निड्स द्याट राइट मलाई पनि चाहिन्छ होइन आई हेभ माई ओन वे तर वाट्स यो वे दाइ
भाइ इफ आई सी होइन यो फोन तपाईँले युज गरे टिकटक इन्स्टाग्राम हेरे गरेर तपाईँले प्लग इन गरेको छैन भने इल डाई
100%
होइन or it goes to 5% and then you're aware then oh my god 5% अब तपाईँको त्यो लाइट पनि डिम हुन थाल्यो क्या then what you do is plug it in and leave it alone.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I do with myself.
How do you plug it in?
Solitude. I stay alone. I go in my media room or I go to gym. I put my music on. I focus on the lifting or I focus on watching the movie. Just give myself time to myself. Okay. And that's how I recharge because I have the me time on self-love. Me time भनेको सेल्फ लभ हो तपाईँको होइन सेल्फ लभले तपाईँलाई रिचार्ज गर्छ देन आई इन्जोय द कम्पनी अफ माई फ्रेन्ड्स लुक आई रिचार्ज अलोन है एन्ड द्याट इज समथिङ द्याट माई वाइफ नोज माई सन प्रब्ली इज लर्निङ अबाउट दिस तर कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ म कसैमा बोल्न खोज्दिनँ आई डोन्ट लाइक टोकिङ म यति धेरै कुरा गरिसकेको हुन्छु कि मलाई एकछिन कसैसँग बोल्न मन छैन आई जस्ट वान सिट अन माई काउच watch movie and think what's next and I get inspiration के त्यहाँबाट त्यो तपाईँको फोनमा जुन इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज आएर आउँछ नि मेरोमा इन्सपिरेसनको चार्जहरू आउँछ क्या सो वाट इज नेक्स्ट द्याट आई क्यान डु भने मेरो दिमाग गोज अन थिङ्किङ मोड एन्ड रिचार्जिङ मोड एन्ड आई एम भेरी एक्सटेरिक अनि त्यहाँबाट म बाहिर निक्लिन्छु एन्ड देन आई एम अल गुड टु गो
Wow, amazing there, amazing tips. Thank you very much. All right, Dai, I think I've covered most of the things that I really wanted to ask from you, right? दाइ तर लास्ट थिङ होइन स्पेसली अबाउट द बिजनेस है Like, what's the number one success formula that you can advise to the new entrepreneurs out there in the market? Like, being one of the जेठो दाई or a successful दाई होइन भाइहरूको लागि चाहिँ who's about to take that leap of faith तर सकिरहेको छैन होइन what's the number one success formula that you wanted to give it to the newbie?
I think it's a cliche by learn, seeker. If you learn, then you earn. होइन पहिले earn गर्न सोच्ने र learn गर्न नसोच्ने भने look, why I'm saying this is because I also want to pinpoint what's going very right, but then again what's going a little bit wrong in our community, होइन. अब अहिले चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि the media of social media, the generation of social media and content creation and stuff like that, होइन. Don't let your overnight success or 1 year success of you being like an influencer or a social media personality get on your head. There's so much of other learnings to do. होइन. Yes, तपाईँले क्यापकटमा पुरै PhD गर्नुभयो है, इन्स्टाग्राममा PhD गर्नुभयो होइन, but there are ways of talking, the way of being humble about your business, the way of giving the value back to your business. म इन्फ्लुएन्सर हो भनेर मैले एउटा भिडियो तपाईँको आएर यहाँ पडकास्टमा एउटा भिडियो राखेर मात्र हुँदैन. I need to tell people what Maven really podcast does. It inspires people. I need to do the storytelling. होइन. सो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि म चाहिँ मेरो आउने जेनेरेसन, मेरो छोरालाई छोरीलाई या मेरो भाइ बहिनीलाई चाहिँ म के भन्छु भन्दाखेरि आर्ट अफ लर्निङ इज अ ब्युटिफुल थिङ. लर्न, be humble about it, stay on the ground as much as you can because you'll meet a lot of people. Ground level मा गएपछि बल्ल तिमी धेरै मान्छे भेट्छ नि त. अहिले त हामी सेकेन्ड थर्ड फोर्थ फ्लोरमा छ होइन. Okay, we're doing our business. त्यस्तै त सेकेन्ड थर्ड फ्लोरमा when you're doing your social media content creation, you're on that level. Okay, तर please come down to the level of the ground, meet more people, be humble about what you do, and inspire one or two more people, because sales भन्छ नि is a solution. If you're solving some problems of a business, then that's a sale, and you're creating value out there. So content creation देखि लिएर तपाईको consulting देखि लिएर सबै कुरामा चाहिँ the magic word is help. Learn to help and also learn how to ask for help.
Amazing.
Hey, you're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Every day we learn something. So every day you can learn, and every day you can teach, every day you can help, and every day you can ask for help.
Amazing. Great, Dai. Great. Thank you very much for the advice. I'm pretty sure the newbies will actually be really, really helpful about these tips. Anyways, Dai, we have come to the end. All my questions are finished, and I think time is really short.
I have one question though.
Yes, please, Dai.
What is your why doing this, what you do?
Regarding the Maven podcast, Dai, how did it started, and what was my why is I thrive in conversation. Like I do a lot of books, but on the same side, I also feel I equally learn from conversations too. I feel like I can connect with people in a deep level, sometimes with most of the people, even like हुन्छ नि एकचोटि दुईचोटि भेट्दा पनि.
हजुर.
अनि the main reason I wanted to have this podcast channel and what actually helps me keep going despite I have 100 of other commitments is because I wanted to leave an impact. I wanted to leave an inspiration through stories, through conversations. So even though if few people can see this and take some takeaways or the golden nuggets, that will help me to fulfill this purpose. Right? So that's my why.
You're doing a beautiful job, Bhai. And look, I am inspired, and I have really seen a lot of your work in the podcast and in consulting and in your lifestyle. Look, you are a man of finance, a man of fitness. And you love yourself, and you always present yourself very well.
Thank you. Then.
Please stay as you are, and also grow as much as you can. But always stay on the ground.
Thank you so much. That coming from you means a lot. I've got a rapid fire questions for you. Just to have fun on the last, if that's okay, if you're ready.
Rapid fire ma चाहिँ rapid fire answer दिनु पर्ने कि एकछिन सोच्नु पाइन्छ?
सोच्नु दाइ
तिमी rapid fire question गर्न पायो तर म चाहिँ सोच्न पाएन.
Rapid fire answers पनि चाहियो दाइ.
Okay.
It's going to be easy.
Then you have to say rapid fire answer.
Daai, to be very honest, मैले जुन तपाईसँग अहिले last 1.5 hour बिताए दाइ, I don't think any questions is very tough for you to actually think about it. Right? The way you explain is so amazing. You should be in marketing, not in finance.
Vacancy छ हाम्रो Maven.
दाइ म आउनु न दाइ, स्टेक नै खाली छ तपाईको लागि. Having said that, I'll just open up the question, Dai. We ready?
Yes.
All right, Dai. So it's going to be a rapid fire. And most of the questions are related to fashion because I want you to be here as a fashion icon.
Okay,
right?
beautiful.
So, all right, Dai, let's get going. Style in one word.
Express.
Amazing. Suit up or streetwear?
It's your taste.
One accessory that defines your look.
Your hairstyle.
Sneakers or leather boots?
I'm a sneaker person.
Amazing. Fashion icon you grew up admiring?
Prabal Dai. Prabal Guru.
Probably. Watch collection or shoes collection?
Watch.
Okay. Most expensive piece in your wardrobe?
It's a Tommy Hilfiger's jacket.
Wow. Do you want to mention the price? Ki?
That's okay.
Okay. All
It
right.
may not be that expensive.
All right. Cool. Okay.
It's
Then.
for me though.
Favorite cologne that turns heads?
Chanel. For the men and
Yeah.
the female as well.
Yeah, I love that.
Chanel blue,
Yeah.
to be specific.
Chanel blue.
Yeah,
I use that as well.
Yeah.
Fashion trend that you'll never follow?
Debatable. I like to take challenges. I like to wear something that no one would wear. Again, if I have to mention one person named Ranveer Singh, I will not go nude.
Yeah.
I will not go nude.
Minus nude. Don't missing minus nude.
Yeah, he went nude,
Yeah.
which look for him it was an experiment. For me, I will never go nude, but I will do anything and everything that I can feel like okay, this is something that I can express.
Amazing. Go to outfit for a date night?
Blazers, suit up.
Amazing. Style inspiration from movies or music?
Movie,
All right.
Matrix.
Amazing. Fashion advice to your younger self?
Be yourself.
Amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Dai. एकदमै रमाइलो भयो and thank you
you,
so much for the rapid fire answers as well.
And
It was
gift खोइ त?
amazing. Gift Dai. मेरो माया दाइ
जित्नु
मेरो
पऱ्यो।
माया मेरो हक म अझै दिन्छु तपाईँलाई champagne
गिफ्ट
Prosecco.
स्याम्पर के त हुन्छ
हिजो दिइसके दाइ
त्यत्रो क्वेसन आन्सर क्विज कन्टेस्ट गरे गिफ्ट के छैन यार।
छैन दाइ एनिवेज तपाईँलाई छ गिफ्ट म
Okay.
मजाले दिन्छु
म
यसले
भन्छु पछि के गिफ्ट दिएको छ भाइलाई।
स्योर कमेन्टमा
Okay.
एनिवेज दाइ थ्याङ्क यू सो मच दाइ एकदमै रमाइलो भयो टु बी भेरी अनेस्ट
Thank
एन्ड दिस
you
इज द
very
फर्स्ट टाइम I have been bubblier with Prosecco and doing a podcast.
Managed to finish a bottle.
Exactly. So guys, please
And
like-
best behaved.
yeah, behaved. So if there's anything wrong that we said,
No, we haven't.
I think we have not, right?
हाम्रो भाइले एडिट गरिदिइहाल्छ नि।
Okay, amazing. All right, Dai, before we leave, how was your experience in Maven Podcast?
भाइ it was really कस्तो भन्दाखेरि it was really me. And the questions probably or the research that you done around me is me.
Okay.
I did not feel like it was a podcast or an interview or where I have to say something in front of a mic or in front of a camera. It felt like I can just go back in memory, down the memory lane, and just recollect my memories, and just smile for a moment or express.
Yeah.
So it was really good. Bhai, I think one thing that stands out about you, Bhai, is I think you're a storyteller, and you let your guest on your podcast be a storyteller. And that really takes your audience in a journey.
Amazing.
So kudos to you and kudos to all the viewers of Maven Podcast. Keep thriving, keep growing. Swasta rahunus, mast rahunus.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dai. Thank you so much once again. तपाईँ आफ्नो बिजनेस ट्रिपमा आएर पनि टाइम मिलाइदिनु भयो त्यसको लागि चाहिँ I'm so grateful. The whole crew of Maven Podcast is really grateful to have you.
Thank you.
Your thoughts, your opinions, your stories, and we'll cherish that forever.
Thank you. And many bhaila pani धेरै धेरै thank you for being the person in the background and working with us and the team, Maven Podcast team.
All right, amazing, Dai. We'll take a sign off. Dai,
Us.
एकचोटि like, comment, and subscribe भनिदिनुहोस् न Dai.
Like, comment, and subscribe because you want to be inspired. Maven Podcast.
Amazing. All right, that's a wrap.
Thank you.
This podcast is presented by Maven Consulting Group. Reach out to them if you have any education and visa inquiry. Knowledge partner, Rees International College.